Hi guys, today I am going to use social media to investigate social media and find out if social media can be good. As you probably know by now, social media has a bad rep when it comes to self-esteem and mental health. I feel like this has been common knowledge for a while, but very recently it was revealed in a report by the Wall Street Journal that Facebook had internal research in March 2020 showing that Instagram, which Facebook owns, is harmful to teen girls' body image and well-being. And Facebook has been ignoring this, of course. This whole fiasco of pursuing profit regardless of documented harm? I can say this. This whole fiasco of pursuing profits despite documented harm has sparked a comparison to big tobacco, which knew in the 1950s that its products were carcinogenic but publicly denied it into the 21st century. At one point, doctors were recommending them and nobody thought there would be any consequences. And if social media is on the same trajectory, then this is terrifying. Yeah, I might use a lot of GIFs this episode to keep spirits high. It's so grim. I don't think I need to explain to anyone watching why people use social media. If in doubt, retrace the steps that led you to this video. But I want to touch on how it's not only used for social purposes. It's fundamental to a lot of professional endeavours and it also largely builds our perception of the rest of the world. I've said before that I never personally feel like I'm offline. Sometimes I do analogue things, but I'm quite often using the internet to play music in the background or listen to a podcast. Or I'll still be available online because my phone will buzz and tell me that something wants my attention. The times when I'm truly offline are when I am with people in person, because I like to focus when I wind everyone up. And a lot of people feel the same way. A poll by Pew Research Centre shows that 89% of teens report they are online almost constantly. I honestly don't know if I could go a full day without the internet. It runs so many parts of my life. A day without the internet could make a good video, and it could destroy me. In the article, the Wall Street Journal highlights that 32% of teen girls said that when they felt bad about their bodies, Instagram made them feel worse. And this is because Instagram is a curated version of life. But Instagram didn't invent the distortion of reality. Capitalism did. Please stay for what I have to say. I promise I will not go too hard on the anti-capitalism. But thank you to the comrades who stayed. This distortion has been going on for a really long time. I remember when I was younger and you still get magazines and people would say, oh, don't worry, that's not how that model really looks. They've been airbrushed to make them look better just for the magazine. That's not a real body. People would say that to give each other reassurance that you didn't have to look flawless. It was just this known thing that the person was airbrushed because this was something inspirational. This has become a theme. Hi! So yeah, on some level, saying that gave you this reassurance that you didn't need to look flawless. It was like we all knew that this model was airbrushed so that you felt inspired to look that way and thought, okay, well, I'll buy this product so that helps me look perfect. But I always thought to myself, okay, we know that they don't look like that in real life, but that's what they look like on this image that everybody is taking in right now. So it doesn't really matter that we know that they don't look like this. We have brought to life a perfect image. And that's what will live in our minds as a reference point. When you're a teenager, your appearance can be disproportionately important. You want to feel grown up. You want to distance yourself from your childish nature when your hair was wild and your makeupless face revealed your age to the world. When you want to be treated like an adult, you mirror other adults, which leads to comparison with other adults. And comparing yourself, whether it's your clothes, your possessions, or your actual body, is always going to make you feel low. How often do you look at someone else's post and think, ha, I have it better than them? Not very often, because we all post the best bits. And even when we post the bad bits, like falling and hurting yourself, which seems to happen to me a lot, it still portrays a sense of fun. Would you post it if it was truly distressing? Probably not. If you don't already know, there is a great documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix, and if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you watch it. It's got some really honest interviews with the people who are behind the tech at these social media organizations, and they know exactly how it works to make us feel addicted and also why it makes us feel low. I think someone's cutting the grass. It's also like really dark today. The documentary also has a dramatised plot around a family that shows the effects on different types of people. Personally, I didn't find that part very engaging, but perhaps it helps tell the story to other people. It just slowed the pace and the impact of the whole thing for me. I don't know, I just couldn't recommend the doc without pointing out that I thought that bit was a bit silly, but other than that, it's really insightful. Some of what the insiders discuss is that when you are pursuing profit, you know that you have to overlook the ethics of getting people addicted to something and playing with people's emotions. One guy, I forgot to take names. One guy remarked on how weird it felt to him knowing that people out there were having thoughts that they wouldn't normally have had if it weren't for the fact that he and his team at Google had decided that this is how notifications were going to work, and that was going to prompt this person to have this thought. The phrase, "you are the product," is this very prominent idea that the real goal of social media nowadays is to sell your attention to advertisers. Another guy elaborates that in fact, changing your behaviour and perception is the product. Manipulation of your emotional state is the key to making money. So that could look like the algorithm picking up that after you see pictures of your friend's new baby, you tend to look up baby clothes. So now you're going to get targeted ads for baby clothes after you've looked at pictures from that friend. Or you tend to buy stuff after you've seen a video of a fashion runway. So they're going to feed you more fashion runways followed by targeted ads. The social media advertising model is taking a place where you feel like you are just safely interacting with your friends or things that you like, and using that against you to sell you stuff. And this is the tip of the iceberg. We know that elections have been won and collective behaviours and ideologies have been changed because the algorithm knows you and knows how to manipulate you.
Hey there, whoa there, hello there. I see that you have sent me a meme. I am deceased.
I know a lot of people who have outright deleted social media and do not feel hindered. Most people find that they still have meaningful relationships and connections with the people that they want to. I used to take the piss out of memes that would be like, turn your phone off, talk to each other, live. But honestly, yeah, okay, fine. I like to normalise admitting when I'm wrong, and I was wrong to take the piss out of that. I will defend that my primary form of communication with some of my friends is online. But know that if I am talking to you online or offline, you have my full attention. In 2020, I took a course called The Science of Wellbeing, which I mentioned quite a lot. It delved into the roots of our misery and the behaviour that leads us to feeling bad, and I found it so insightful. I decided to take it not because I was feeling low, but because I had worked in a few places that had really low morale in general, and I really wanted to learn more about collective lethargy. It's free, I highly recommend it, even if you are a pretty happy person, because it allows you to discover things about yourself and also understand how to maintain positive well-being. The course did cover how deleting your social media can actually be hugely beneficial to your well-being. But it acknowledges that not everyone can delete social media so easily. Personally, social media is a large part of my job. I create content. Am I the problem?
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
The course did recommend some ways in which to change your online experience. One way is to simply recognise the behaviour when it happens and stop. So if you're looking at something and you begin to think, oh, why don't I look like that? They're so much better than me. Stop doing that. Close the app, take a break, and think about why you started feeling that way. You can also restrict your time on social media. You can turn off notifications so you aren't constantly being pulled into it. Personally, I find it really useful not to multitask. I've mentioned before, but I used to put on a television show and then sit and scroll on social media, and then the credits would roll and I would be like, oh, I did not take in any of what I set out to watch right now. I didn't remember a single thing that happened in the show. So I now don't do both. A few years ago, I had a really bad experience when someone started arguing with me on Facebook. I know Facebook is pretty much over at this point, but at this point in time, it was like kind of on its last legs for people my age. I found myself having really bad anxiety about this conversation. I stood my ground and I did my best to argue my point, but I hated every minute of it. I'm happy to talk about my values and ideology, hence why I have this channel, and I like to invite new ideas into my life. But this conversation was just so negative and it really changed things for me. After it, I felt worried that I was going to feel sad when I went on social media. So I went through my accounts and I unfollowed and unliked everything that I thought would make me feel down. I blocked certain pages that peddled fake news and tabloid stories, and I also unfollowed and sometimes unfriended people that posted things that I didn't want to see. Since then, I haven't had much anxiety about social media. My Facebook is mostly news articles from sources that I trust and the occasional stupid video. My Twitter is just silly jokes and memes. My TikTok is all fun videos. And my Instagram is full of cabins in the woods. Somehow it doesn't make me look around my own flat and think, oh, I wish I lived in a cabin in the woods. I want to, but it doesn't make me feel disappointed in my own life. Somehow I just get a lot of satisfaction from looking at really well designed and decorated cabins in the woods. That's the key to my heart. Doing this has brought me a lot of peace, but doesn't mean that I've created an echo chamber of stupid videos and cabins in the woods. Yes, and I'm fine with that. Do I feel like I'm missing out?
Oh, hell no! Hell no, hell no.
I think social media can be positive if used consciously. Maybe it's time to go through and make sure that you're following what you want to see and block and unfollow anything that makes you feel down. You could also go as far as to clear out the apps that you genuinely could live without. If you're missing any of it, you can always reintroduce it, and at least that's a choice and not just a default. Thank you for watching this video today. If you enjoyed it, then please consider liking and subscribing. Consciously, let it be your choice. I would like it if you influenced other people to come and watch this video too, but maybe do it in person. Tell them what it is and then let them make a choice about it. All of this pretty much goes against how YouTube works. So however you want to share it is fine. See you next time.